with the regular village board meeting of Thursday, June 20th, 2024. And Christy, can you call the roll, please?
Mayor Craig is out of town at a conference this weekend, so thank you, Pro Tem Porter, for helping us out today. Trustee Kunkel?
Here.
Trustee Bancole? Here. Trustee Priege?
Here.
And President Pro Tem Porter.
Here.
Thank you.
Would you please join me for the reading of citing of the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like an acceptance of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Are there any questions or discussions, any removals? Christy, will you take the vote?
Well, before we do that, so there is two items on the agenda, on the consent agenda. Thank you. There are two items on the consent agenda, which is item 7A2 and 7A3. One deals with they both deal with increasing the number of liquor licenses. One concerns an establishment called Herms HP LLC, and the other one Sta Con Madre Inc. And in front of you are two ordinances, and they are correcting ordinances for the ones that were in the packet. So I would ask that someone move to substitute for ordinances 7A2 and 7A3 as the two ordinances appeared in the agenda packet. And for your consideration tonight, the two ordinances placed before you, which as to 7A2 corrects the spelling of Hermes from Hermes, H-E-R-M-E-S, to Herms, H-E-R-M-S, and as to 7A3 provides for the spelling of the licensee, the proposed licensees, as Sta Con Madre, with spaces between Sta, S-T-A, and Con, C-O-N, and between Con, C-O-N, and Madre, M-A-D-R-E.
So moved. Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded, motioned and seconded that the aforementioned changes be adopted in the ordinance. Christy, would you call the roll, please?
Trustee Bancole?
Yes.
Trustee Priege?
Yes.
Trustee Kunkel?
Yes.
And Pro Tem Porter?
Yes. Thank you. Presentations. Okay, we have a proclamation.
And actually, for this proclamation, if we could have the Hanover Park Environmental Committee also approach the dais.
Come on up.
Sarah and Greg Van Dam from the Hanover Park Apiary. We're so proud of the work that you guys
They're here.
do.
They're here.
Oh, come on. Come on up. Along with the Environmental Committee. Thank you. Whereas in 2011, the village of Hanover Park became the first municipality in the state of Illinois to open a community apiary in an effort to preserve and restore declining bee populations. And whereas local beekeepers Sarah and Greg Van Dam have been steadfast members of Hanover Park's community apiary since 2013. and have made significant contributions to the sustainability of our apiary, including continual installation of bees and counsel on native plant species. And whereas for many years, the Van Dams have served as main programming feature during the Environmental Committee's annual Apiary Open House and have provided educational presentations, demonstrations, and pure honey tastings for our residents. And whereas the Van Dams have also served as community leaders in neighboring municipalities, and their civic engagement efforts have been a benefit to the Northwest suburban community. Now, therefore, I, Rodney S. Craig, Mayor of Village of Hanover Park, Illinois, do hereby thank Sarah and Greg Van Dam for their dedicated service and contributions to the Environmental Committee and the residents of Hanover Park, dated this day, 20th day of June, 24. The apiary is a wonderful, wonderful addition to our services in Hanover Park, and we are so glad for your faithfulness and your willingness to work in that area and present us with such a fantastic feature for our village. I visited many times during the open house, and it's coming up Saturday. So this Saturday on the 22nd, we just want to make you aware that if you have not visited the apiary, it's really something that I think you want to experience. Just wonderful what they do with the bees, and you can also get some very fresh honey, not the stuff you get in the stores that's been all pasteurized and processed and everything, but some really good honey. We cherish ours at our house. In fact, we kind of fight over it a little bit about what we can use it in. So thank you very much for your service to our community. As the Environmental Committee Chair, would you like to say a word? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Another hand for our... You gotta give me proclamation.
My phone as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, but it'll change.
Thank you.
Thank you. Shake hands with our board, such as it is. We're a little tight tonight. You'll get through that line pretty quickly.
Your first official ride.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for all you do. Thank you. Next, we come to the Heart Saver citations. First is cardiac arrest and firefighter paramedic Rosa Gonzalez.
We're going to call them up.
You're going to call them up? Okay,
Thanks.
carry on.
Good evening, everybody. So tonight we have the pleasure of being able to recognize multiple members of our fire department for excellent work that they've performed, both individual and as a team, over the last year. So tonight we're going to award Heart Saver citations for 4 different emergency responses from 2023. These awards definitely represent a dedication, teamwork, and the training of all of our members of the fire department and the impact that they do have every day to our community. I'm really proud of all of them. So what we're going to do today is start with, I'll read a description of what the Heart Saver citation is that everyone tonight will be receiving. So it's awarded for the direct action at an emergency medical incident while acting with a company or group which demonstrated a high standard of performance. These actions led not only to the successful resuscitation of the patient in cardiac arrest, but also contributed to the successful recovery and discharge from a hospital or a rehab facility or returning to their place of residency. So these are all members of our community that we were called into action. They were in full cardiac arrest, and we regained a pulse, which is known as a return of spontaneous circulation. You hear that multiple times in our descriptions of these events tonight. So first, also, I want to just note that this evening, when we call up each individual member, some will be noted for receiving the Heart Saver ribbon, which is their first time that they have received the award. But you'll also hear me note a bronze star, a silver star, or even a gold star. And those are for multiple times that these members of the department have been awarded this same Heart Saver citation over their career. Many would be awarded multiple citations even just this evening because they were on multiple calls. So first, I'll describe the events from January 1st, 2023. On January 1st, Station 15 companies were dispatched for a patient with a chief complaint of neck pain. Upon arrival, companies found the patient to be in cardiac arrest. Protocol was followed with defibrillation delivered, and upon completion of the fourth shock, the patient was found to have ROSC. After regaining that pulse, a 12-lead EKG was obtained and transmitted to the hospital, revealing a sinus rhythm with inferior and lateral elevation in multiple leads. The patient was transferred to Medic 15 for further care and transportation to the hospital. While en route, they contacted St. Alexis Medical Center, reported the cardiac arrest with ROSC, and requested a code cardiac be initiated. Upon arrival at the hospital, the patient was immediately transferred to the cath lab, where they received balloon angioplasty and stent placement. Due to the advanced notification of the code cardiac, the patient had a door-to-device time of 61 minutes. The current guideline for this treatment is recommended to be 90 minutes or less. The patient was discharged home neurologically intact on January 8th, 2023. So now, as I call the members, please come forward to receive your certificate and award from Trustee Porter. Firefighter Paramedic Rosa Gonzalez will be awarded the Bronze Star. Firefighter EMT John Kofink, Bronze Star. Firefighter Paramedic Bernie Navarez, Heart Saver Ribbon. Firefighter Paramedic Dylan Nonsek, Bronze Star. Firefighter Paramedic Nick Balestra, Bronze Star. And Lieutenant Pete Rosberg, Heart Saver Ribbon. Congratulations to all of you.
Thank you. Thank you. Leave the line.
Next, on January 25th, 2023, Engine 16 and Medic 16 were dispatched for a person who fell. DUCOM updated the responding units that the patient is unconscious and not breathing. Station 16 companies arrived on the scene to find the patient on the floor, not breathing, and without a pulse. Manual CPR was immediately started, the Lucas CPR device was applied to this patient, and cardiac arrest protocol was followed. Companies achieved ROSC approximately 7 to 10 minutes after their arrival. The patient was transported to CDH and arrived at the emergency room awake, alert, and responding to commands. The patient was discharged home March 13th without any deficit. Members being recognized are firefighter paramedic Ethan Gibbons, Bronze Star. Firefighter Paramedic Dana Krasowski, Heart Saver Ribbon. Battalion Chief Jasper, Silver Star. And we have 3 members that would not be able to be with us tonight, and those are Firefighter Paramedic Larry Anselmo, who will receive a Heart Saver ribbon, Firefighter Paramedic Sergei Klenik, who will receive a ribbon, and Lieutenant Mark Montalbano. Congratulations.
Good job, good job, good job.
Our next response was a cardiac arrest on January 30th. Station 15 companies were dispatched to an unconscious female. Upon arrival, it was determined that the patient was not breathing and without pulse. Companies on the scene performed procedures per protocol, and after 17 minutes of care, the patient achieved ROSC in the field. Crews then continued treatment and transported the patient to the St. Alexis Medical Center, and the patient was discharged from the hospital on February 8th, neurologically intact. We will be recognizing first Firefighter Paramedic Nick Balestra, Silver Star. Firefighter Paramedic Rick Ramirez, Bronze Star. Firefighter Paramedic Dylan Nonsek, Silver Star. Lieutenant Pete Rosberg, Bronze Star. And Battalion Chief Ryan Jasper with a Gold Star. One previous member that could not be with us tonight is Firefighter Paramedic Ryan Jacobs, who's also part of this response. Congratulations. It's all good, Bernie. You got it. We're good. You're good.
Good job again. Good job again. Good job.
Strong work. Good job. Thank you. Good work. And our final response that we'll be recognizing this evening occurred on November 28th, 2023. Medic 15 was dispatched for a sick person. Upon arrival, Medic 15 observed staff performing CPR on the patient, and the call was upgraded to a cardiac arrest response. Cardiac arrest procedures were followed per protocol, and after 18 minutes of treatment, the crew achieved ROSC. Continued care was provided, and the patient was transported to St. Alexis Medical Center for further treatment. This patient was discharged home from a rehab facility in January of 2024. This evening, we'll recognize Firefighter Paramedic Ariel Barraza, Heart Saver Ribbon. Firefighter Paramedic Dylan Nonsek, Gold Star. Firefighter Paramedic Rick Ramirez, Silver Star. And Battalion Chief Garrett Cody, Heart Saver Ribbon. Members not able to be with us this evening was Firefighter Paramedic Ariel Barraza, Firefighter Paramedic Sergey Klenik, and Lieutenant Isidore Ordinario. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Good job again. Another one, good job. Thanks again.
You done?
Thank you again.
I just want to say on behalf of the Village of Hanover Park, we are a grateful community, and we're very grateful to be served by such fine servants, first responders, as represented here today. And the awardees tonight represent a fire department that is bar none at the top of the list in terms of serving our communities. So you have our gratitude, our forever gratitude for the sacrifices that you make and for the heroism that you show and for the dedication that you've shown our community. For a grateful community, we humbly thank you. Thank you very much. And your families and all your supporters, we thank you. For those of you that are going to pop champagne bottles or whatever you do in celebration, you're free to to take your leave at this time. You're welcome to join us for our exciting board meeting, but I'm sure there's an Olive Garden reservation or something that's waiting for you. So, yes.
Orleans. Go visit Orleans.
Okay. Moving on to item number 5 on our agenda is the town hall session, and we have one person that has signed up, Brian Syra. Thank you. Brian, would you please approach? Can you state your name and address for the record, please?
Sure. Brian Syver, 6631 Church Street,
Thank
Hanover Park. I'm just here to ask a simple question of, after years and years of complaining and showing pictures and proving property damage and car damage and this flooding spanning multiple homes, I've never have gotten any response or any help or any explanation of why they haven't fixed the problem. I talked to David Shaw and TJ Moore, and they gave me a list of addresses of different areas they fixed flooding issues, and this is going on for years of never understanding why they won't fix our flooding problems, especially when it spans multiple homes.
Can you explain your problem so that they know?
I have several pictures of the flood coming up to the house. I parked my cars all over the streets when there's heavy rain.
What's the intersection of your home?
Kind of
Church and Maple.
Church and Maple,
In Maple?
across the Park District.
Okay.
And the water rises. I've missed work. I've missed, I've had to do mold remover. The house, the water is coming, hit my sill plate. I've had to replace some things. And sometimes the water is there for a few days and I can't leave. I've had to drive across my yard to get my cars out. My other neighbors have had experienced property damage, and I'm just wondering why nothing's ever been done or said to me why they won't fix it or address it.
Thank you. Your comments have been noted for the board. I will direct you that our Public Works Director is in the meeting tonight. And since you brought this to the board, and we'll ask you to have that conversation, but then the board is free to bring that up at a later date and just see how this has been rectified or discussed or somehow what the outcome of this visit will be. Just want you to know that we do respect your time and your concern over this matter, and we'll direct you to the right person and help you resolve this in a manner that you and your neighbors will be satisfied and comfortable with. But thank you for coming and bringing this to our attention. TJ, or you and Jonathan, could you just take a moment and speak with Brian and get the facts, and then we'll get a report later, and the board will address that.
Okay, thank you
And
very much.
Thank you, Brian, Michelle, too. I do have the photos. I'll send them to the board members that couldn't have been here tonight as well. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank
coming.
you.
Thank you. The village president's report. The village president is not with us this evening. He's out of town representing the village at a conference. So we'll move to item number 7, move to approve by omnibus vote the items on the consent agenda.
So moved. Second.
Properly moved and seconded. All those, we have to take a roll call. Yeah, take the roll call, please.
Trustee Brigi?
Yes.
Trustee Kunkel?
Yes.
Trustee Bancole?
Yes.
And Pro Term Porter?
Yes.
Great.
Items. Bernie, you want to read off the items that includes?
So that was 7A1, excuse me, 7A1. The consent agenda consisted of 7A1 through 7A8. The next item on the agenda is 7A9.
Great.
Through 7A8.
Yes. 7A1 through 7A.
Right, 7A1 through 7A8 all
Yeah,
have
okay.
passed by a vote of 4-0, and the next item on the agenda is 7A9.
Okay. Item 7A9, move to approve warrant 6/2024 in the amount of $941,989.70.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Clerk, would you call the roll?
Trustee Bancole?
Yes.
Trustee Brigi?
Yes.
Trustee Kunkel?
Yes.
And Pro Term Porter?
Yes.
Thank you.
Item 7A10, move to approve warrant paid in advance 5/31/2024, 6/14/2024 in the amount of $333,471.71.
So moved. Second.
Thank you.
Been properly moved and seconded. Village Clerk, would you call the roll?
Trustee Brigi?
Yes.
Trustee Kunkel?
Yes.
Trustee Bancole?
Yes.
Pro Term Porter?
Yes. Item number 8, the village manager's report.
In your packet is the monthly treasurer's report for May 2024. We'd be happy to answer any questions you have regarding that. And, but other than that, no further report.
Corporation Counsel.
No report, thank you.
Yeah, I'll go last. Village Clerk Christy Merrill.
Great. So I just wanted to give everybody a heads up. Movie in the Park, Wonka, our first one of the year, is this Friday at dusk. So come visit, bring your friends, family, neighbors, bring everybody. And then the EDC has been busy at work with our last few meetings. We are in talks of bringing back the coupon books in the highlighter to help promote our businesses. The EDC thinks it's going to be a great idea to kind of bring them back and see what businesses are interested in helping promote and do some discounts over the holiday season. That November, December issue is what we're kind of looking at. So more discussion to come on that. And then the last thing that we've kind of been discussing over there is tree sales and outdoor dining and how it supports different organizations such as the Cub Scouts, churches, things like that, and if we should allow that. And then also the food truck criteria has been a big topic on food trucks staying in one spot, moving around the village, things like that. So more to come in upcoming meetings. If you're free and interested in joining, July 9th is our next one at 12:30. Come hang out with us.
Thank you.
Yep.
John Kunkel, trustee report.
Yes, last weekend I attended a sign dedication at Heritage Park. Beautiful mural done by the kids. It was sponsored by State Farm. And the Juneteenth event that we had this Saturday was pretty good. A lot of residents that did make it there thanked a lot of the people that were there, the vendors and everything. And I want to thank the police, fire, and public works for giving everybody a hand, making it a safe environment for all of us. Okay, also Sister Cities, they won an award for Sister Cities of the Year again. They got that on June 8th. Yeah, June 8th. And let's see. I wanted to talk about the AT&T pedestals that we have in town. A lot of them are smashed and broken. I'm not sure if they use the copper lines anymore. Most people don't have home phones, but they're throughout the village. We sit there and we give tickets to businesses and residents, but we have this problem that you can see when you drive around town of all the AT&T pedestals knocked over, smashed, pushed into people's yards, and it looks bad. A couple of residents have brought that to my attention as well.
Regarding that issue, code enforcement has done a survey in town and is maintaining a list and, working with the vendors to try to get those addressed. Sometimes it does take some time, but code enforcement is aware of those locations and tracking them.
Okay, thank you. And at the airport, just one thing about the airport, 490 is being worked on, so they have a lot of cranes there. Unfortunately, you have the 28s center and right. They're going to be blocked until November because of the high cranes that are putting stuff in place along 490. So it may cause a delay of bus coming to the airport from the western access part because there's a lot of construction going on for 490, just to make everybody aware. And that's all I have.
Thank you, John. Trustee Yasmin Bankole.
Thank you, President Pro Temp Porter. Excuse me, I apologize. I first would like to go back to what our resident, Mr. Bryan, mentioned about flooding. I know that this individual has reached out to us, and I'm really glad that we have our staff in the room and they can get a little bit more information about what exactly is going on and work towards a resolution. I would like to just get a little bit of clarity because I believe that the street that they're on borders the Park District, and so I guess I'm just trying to get a little bit of clarity first and foremost on how we approach flooding, because I know flooding is an issue that has increased in recent years. I'm thinking about all the natural events that are occurring, the assistance that FEMA has provided homeowners, businesses. But then I'm also thinking about maybe some of the residents that might be caught in the crosshairs of Park District versus Village. I guess I'm just trying to get clarity on if this is a matter, and maybe this is an issue that would impact others, where they border the park district and it's maybe under the park district's purview versus the villages.
We have had discussions with this resident. I can have John send you the details of this situation. It's primarily street flooding.
Okay.
That is across from the park district's
Would you like me to touch on
detention. We're hoping that some of the work that we're doing around the park will help improve, but we don't want to make promises that it will significantly improve the situation. But it's mostly street flooding that if the detention pond, if we have a heavy rain and the detention pond gets flooded and then the street gets flooded and you're across the street from there. So we can send some, but John, I believe, has stepped out to talk to them further.
Okay. And it sounds like this is maybe an isolated issue. From my understanding, it's kind of just impacting, it's not impacting the entire area there, right?
Juliana, would you like me to touch on
Go
that?
ahead.
Okay.
Yep. Thank you.
We've had a lot of experience with this particular spot.
Okay.
Not only
Within
since
the
I
village?
started. Yes, this
Okay,
spot.
okay.
In fact, broadly speaking, flooding, if you've been here a very long time, there are different kinds of flooding. Flooding in large part is way down in the village. The village has worked for 20-plus years now to reduce different kinds of flooding. There's lots of different kinds of flooding, the bad one being the backups into your basement. That's the absolute worst. For example, tonight on the board agenda packet, there was sewer lining. That is a very aggressive program to reduce the sewer backup flooding, that's what a lot of people think of as flooding. Juliana was right when she said that this is street flooding, so I want to make sure that there's a distinction here between the two.
Okay.
This particular spot on Church is one of the spots in town. So all water in the village makes its way to the creek eventually. Now, it might be detained in different places, but then it eventually makes its way to the creek. In this particular case, this is the spot in town that we're frequently called that there's water on the street. It is one of the lowest spots, I'll say in town, but in that leg that feeds to the creek. So what will happen frequently is that upstream in the basin, we will have a lot of water introduced. That water will start making its way through the storm system, trying to get to the creek. And as you can imagine, it's working its way through pipe after pipe after pipe as it gets there. But there are only a few pipes that go out into the creek. So that water will start to back up, especially when the creek is full. This is as the low spot. You think of a stormwater inlet, can also be a stormwater outlet. So what will frequently happen is we'll get a phone call that there's water on the street on Church, and even by the time that we get there, the water's gone because the line is surcharged to the creek. Maybe the creek didn't have capacity, maybe the lines didn't have capacity. The water we refer to it as daylighting, the water would surface, and then as soon as capacity was available either in the creek or in the pipe adjacent to it, it would then go down again. In extreme events, that water will daylight and will stay daylighted until the creek or the pipes have capacity to accept that water, and then it goes down relatively quickly. I can tell you that I have spent many, many hours in front of that house, either when he lived there or before, watching that particular flooding. We will close that street. The police department will sometimes just put the horses up for us to close that street. It is something that I have personally never seen it get into a house. It certainly will get into the front yard, and I've seen it as high as the sidewalk. But then I've never seen it last for days. I have seen it last for a period of hours. It is something that can occur, and ultimately the fix to it, and it's only a partial fix, would be to expand all of the pipes from there to the creek. But then if the creek was not accepting capacity, I mean, and again, this is literally the case, it would take elevating the road, which would actually make things worse, because then once the road is above the elevation of the home and the yard, that's where the water is going to want to go. So the worst is water in your basement. We want the water in the creek and in the pipes, but if the water's in the street, I don't like that, but it's much better than being in your basement.
Okay.
So it is a complicated topic, particularly when we have elevations involved.
No, thank you. Thank you for your expertise on this subject matter and also for your attention to
Thank you.
this matter. I appreciate that. It's really helpful, so thank you,
Thank
DJ.
you.
And thank you, Juliana. Next thing I just would like to say is thank you to our environmental committee. It's a pleasure to see many of you here tonight. Thank you so much for joining me in honoring the Van Dam family who've done so much for our village. And as Trustee Porter mentioned, as another reminder, we have our annual apiary event coming up this Saturday, 1 to 4. It will be a good time had by all. Building off of a comment that Trustee Kunkel just mentioned with how we're ticketing things and looking at things at the village, looking at things in the village. I know we're having a workshop that we will, a workshop that's coming up that we will, we'll have a dedicated amount of time to talk about this particular matter. I was wondering if we could also talk about the DuPage River and how we view ticketing that may or may not occur as a result of repeated actions by a particular business or individual. I say this because the DuPage River runs through our village, and we, as a village staff, but also our environmental committee, up until a couple years ago, we would pull out full beds out of the river, shopping carts, full chairs, TVs. I mean, we have pulled some of the strangest things out of the river, and it's gotten so bad. Just some of the items we're finding in there, and also the brush that's back there that we can't even get back there, and so it's building up. And this is, you know, our beautiful river that we want to keep clean. And so I'm hoping that we could also add that to the conversation, to the upcoming workshop, if it is the will of the board.
Who's the authority that's responsible for that portion of the river?
They're laughing because I've spent a lot of time on this issue trying to figure out whose authority it is. Is it the county? Is it the village? Is it a business owner? Is it someone else?
Is it
Another
run through the forest?
entity?
It's not the forest preserve or any of those?
It's not the forest preserve.
Yeah.
I've spent time, a great deal of time on this. So I'm just hoping that we can add this to the discussion that we already have scheduled, if it's the will of the board.
Sure.
Okay. Is that all right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry, they're trying to give me some invite. What specifically would you like to discuss at the workshop? I mean, or would you like us to do more research in addition to what you've done to try to determine if there's anything the board could do? First.
Maybe a little bit of both.
Yeah,
if
let
that's
us
possible.
try to do some research on our end as to what the situation is, maybe take some pictures and stuff and see if we can delve into if anybody and who has jurisdiction and responsibility along there.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Appreciate
thanks.
that. Just a couple more things. Trustee Porter and I will be attending the National Black Caucus for Local Elected Officials conference next week. They host it in different cities, I think on an annual basis or a biannual basis, and this conference will be coming into Chicago, so we're very excited to welcome these local elected officials to the Chicago area. And I will stop there. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Prigge?
No report.
Thank you. I just have a few things that I want to address. First of all, as you noticed, the mayor is not here with us tonight. He is at a conference in Kansas City. But more importantly, I just want to recognize that the mayor on the 26th of the month, next week, will be sworn in as the president of the Northwest Mayors Managers Conference, and that's quite an esteemed position. We're very proud of our mayor. I've always said that I believe he's Hanover Park's greatest advocate. He's everywhere and anywhere if he thinks that it can benefit the cause and the interest of our village. And so for him to be recognized by this group and this authority is a distinct privilege, and we're very proud of that. And a number of us will be attending to witness that and to be there to support him. But I just thought I'd make the public aware that you have a mayor that is not just a person that sits in an office or sits at the phone, but is actively engaged. As anybody that knows him, and if you look at his schedule, you'll see that, you know, he's a crazy man. And I say that with all respect and with love when it comes to his schedule, because he takes on a lot, but he does it because he loves the village. And I think this recognition speaks to that. So if he's listening in, Mayor, congratulations, and we'll see you at the swearing in. There's another thing that's happening, and I apologize because I had saved it on my phone to mention, and if you may have noticed, I've been frantically looking through my cell phone to try to find it, and I can't. So I'm going to ask for some assistance from Fire Chief Eric Forrest for the involvement that you had with the students and with the Alignment for Collaborative Education, the program that you guys were working on. Can you please speak to that? I'm sure
Sure.
Because I think there's an event coming up commemorating or, you know, highlighting that achievement.
Sure. Yes, we were given the opportunity to have an internship program as part of the U46 Alignment Collaborative Initiative. And there are many different, as you know, internship opportunities for different groups through U46. We have another intern right now currently in our HR department that's in a different program. But our program focused on public safety, and it was 10 students that came to us that were selected through U46, and they spent a week with us last week. They've also spent every Tuesday and Thursday with the Bartlett Police Department for the last month, as well as some time with Hanover Township Emergency Services. It was to give them an overview of what it could be like to have a career in public safety in the future. And it's a recruitment effort to connect with young people to show them that there's a lot of opportunity out there if anyone has interest in these types of fields. So we were able to instruct with them with multiple instructors each day over the 5 days. We had them for 4 hours each day, and we basically put them through a mini rookie school, which is our initial training that we give all of our new recruits. So we gave them, they were able to have a lot of hands-on time with the different things we do, from forcing open doors to moving hose lines to putting out flammable liquid fires with fire extinguishers, vehicle extrication for traffic accidents. And then we also focused on the medical side of the profession that we have, which was we taught and certified each member in CPR and Stop the Bleed. And we showed them what it was to work as a paramedic in the emergency medical services field, just very similar to the things that we awarded our members tonight about. We were able to give them that experience over 5 days. Excellent opportunity. I think we made a definite impact on all 10 and had a lot of great comments in all of the feedback forms. So this was the first year we were able to do it. We look very, very forward to the future of having maybe more students and maybe even a longer opportunity with them. We really think it can help to start to bridge the gap that we have between high school and a career in the fire service, which is drastically needed right now for all of us.
Great, great, thank you. And that graduation ceremony is taking place at the Bartlett Police Station?
Correct. Bartlett Police Station next Thursday evening, I believe.
Okay, thank you. It's always great to hear about getting our young people involved and showing them the possibilities, the different career paths that exist, especially when it comes to public service and those community service jobs, so public administration. So thank you for being involved and for representing Hanover Park. Nancy sent me an email telling me all about it, and I'm gonna have to have a talk with Jed about my new cell phone because I think it hides a lot of my emails that I get. It's very diligent on blocking some emails, but that's another story. Jed's doing a great job with our IT department.
And Trustee Porter, if I can just interject, next Thursday evening at the Bartlett Police Department, 5:30 to 7 o'clock.
5:30 to 7 o'clock at the Bartlett Police Department. Great. Thank you.
So you said June, what day is it? Sorry?
27.
27, thank you.
I also want to bring to the attention the board that from my work with CETA, I was made aware we've been collaborating and working with Commonwealth Edison to bring programs that are of service and a benefit to low-income families. And there's a new initiative, a new program that ComEd has proposed and is only waiting for approval by the Illinois Energy Commission. And it's the ComEd program, Low Income Discount Program to help families. This is in addition to LIHEAP. So on top of what ComEd is currently doing with LIHEAP, this new program will offer support and services to members of our community that up to 300% of the federal poverty level. It starts at 50% of the poverty level, but goes up to 300% of the poverty level, which is significant, that people at those levels will be able to apply for the discount program that will allow them to take advantage of special pricing for their electric services. It's a program that if they're already enrolled in a utility service program such as LIHEAP, they'll automatically be enrolled in the LID, which is called Low Income Discount Program. But go to ComEd's website if you're interested or you know someone who may be interested. There's a complete detailing of the ins and outs of the program, but I think this is great news, especially for our low-income families that are struggling. And it's been predicted that utility bills with the heat that we're going to experience this summer are going to be at least 20% higher than they were last year. So there probably will be a lot of families in need who will be looking for assistance. And this program doesn't go into effect until 2025, but it's good to know that it's on the horizon and that it's coming, and it will help our low-income families. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Trustee Kunkel has already spoken to our Juneteenth event, which was a wonderful event that we had. I just want to reiterate a few things. We received a number of proclamations and commendations at the event. The Illinois Department of Public Health for Volunteerism had a commemorative statement, recommendation that they read, signed by Governor Pritzker, and we were very honored to receive that recognition, as well as recognition and a proclamation from State Rep Fred Crespo and Cook County Commissioner Kevin Morrison. Our program is being very well received throughout the community. We received numerous reports from people who attended who thoroughly enjoyed themselves. We're at our new venue, and we're still kind of feeling our way about how to best utilize that venue. I think we had a good first stab at it, and we'll do better the next time in hosting that event, but we're very pleased with the location. That worked out excellent for us. TJ, thank you, and the Public Works Department for yeoman's work. I was there at 9:30, and they were already there. I tried to beat them there, but of course, they were there already at 9:30 for an event that didn't begin until noon. Chief Forrest, thank you so much for the fire department. Emergency services were there providing their service and their support. We're very grateful for that, as well as for the police department that was there, that provided security and just made everyone feel safe and secure. We're very grateful for your involvement and for your support, as well as Hanover Township. community services agencies that were there helping to direct traffic off of Barrington Road. That is a big help when we have people crossing Sycamore or turning in from Barrington Road. Having Hanover Township there to assist was greatly appreciated. So we just want to thank them for that. And with that, that concludes my report.
Can I add one more thing?
Yes.
I think that was also one of the first events that we've had with the backdrop of our newly minted mural, and it looks beautiful. And I just would like to thank our village manager, Juliana, for spearheading that beautiful art project. Thank you.
Yeah, it did get a number of very positive comments too. People really thought it was very well done and a very nice addition to the landscape of that area. So just want to let you know. Thanks for mentioning that. Item number 12, executive session. There's none scheduled. And with that, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded. Christie, would you call the roll?
Trustee Kunkel?
Yes.
Trustee Bancole?
Yes.
Trustee Frigie? Yes. Pro Term Porter?
Yes.
And the meeting is adjourned,
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
8:01.
Have a great weekend. Please visit the apiary. We are adjourned.
Leave it go.